Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Tyranny. This is Scarlet RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we start another episode over here. We've been starting a bunch of episodes on this place. But yeah, we're gonna leave the camp of the Dishonored. We have a new party member, and I think we can get 4 because if I am not mistaken, look at that. That's at least 4 right there. A place for 4 anyway. I think it's the party size for this game is a little bit smaller than in Pillars of Eternity, but I guess we'll find out. It will take 2 hours to complete the journey. Let's go. Ooh, we got an ambush. Your path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian guard. You can go no farther until you deal with them. Well, let's see what I can do to them. Hopefully not attack right away, but maybe attack right away. We'll see how that goes.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
Oh my. A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint pick out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, and her outfit is festooned with braids and knots of sailor's line. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian guard regalia, the woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests draped over her arm. What about the aquamarine body paint? The blue body pigment, bladed staff, and complex braided attire are the traditional trappings of the School of Tides. According to Fatebinder Rogalas, the majority of the school fled before the coming of Chorus. The remainder were last seen during the first campaign in Vendriel's Well. The School of Tide traditionally studies the magic of water and gravelight, the art of directing the moon's arcane light into baleful, searing energy. What about the swath of blue fabric? The blue flag is a symbol of diplomacy and truce recognized across most of the known world, and it is a custom of tearsmen hold dear. The tearsmen hold dear. To harm another person under the auspices of a blue flag is a grave offense. In both the Tears and in Kairos Empire, the customary punishment is death. Well, let's be sure not to do anything bad to these guys. She is Ebb. She is just a person. She's not associated with anybody for right now. Let's see what
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her remain in a ready stance, their nerves clearly on edge. You would detain a Fatebinder of the Archon of Justice? Unwise.
As unwise as setting foot on our lands with dreams of conquest. If you're afraid of a few words, go ahead and run. Idiots and very young children are often afraid of me, so I understand if you need to retreat and soil yourself in private.
You have me at a disadvantage.
I am Ebb of the School of Tides, and today I speak on behalf of the Vendrian Guard.
I advise caution, Fatebinder. Only thing more dangerous than a tearsman is an educated one.
Metal articulations groan as he tries to subtly move his hand towards his blade. There's a blue flag, Barik. I expect you will honor it?
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos's way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
So, this name, you recall the name as belonging to one of the Vendrian Guard leaders to have assaulted Edgering Ruins, though you have no recollection of his exact fate. Okay, I can tell her he's dead. I can tell him he's either with the Chorus or found and let him go. Okay. Assuming he's our prisoner, what would you offer in exchange?
We would offer you 5 choirmen that got lost on patrol. They're healthy. Got other limbs, too.
I would not have us barter with oathbreakers. Certainly not for anything less than disfavored lives.
You say there's something worth less than a disfavored life. Call me intrigued.
Oh, man. Yeah, I will not negotiate with oathbreakers.
Very good, Fatebinder. You do well not to set a standard of compromise and weakness before these southern wretches. You know the meaning of precedence in law and in war.
Then I will take no more of your time. Apologies. We will depart at once.
She bows curtly, never letting her eyes leave yours, before turning to leave. A moment later, the bodyguards turn to follow. See? I made a very demanding wish of the game. I said, I was actually expecting just to be like, bandits attack you and you must defend yourself. But no, it's a random encounter.
Right.
Well, not actually a random encounter, a special encounter. And we have deer that don't say anything when I right-click them. But that's okay. Let's see what we have over here. We have ourselves a blood moss. Okay, blood moss is a thing for over there. Actually, these things are for crafting. Let's put it over there. We have skycap, I believe. No sky. Yeah, I have some skycaps over here, and that one is sable root that delays unconsciousness for 10 seconds. That's pretty good. That's an interesting thing when you basically die. But yeah, I'm not playing with the permadeath, by the way. This is a blind playthrough, so I figured that was a bad idea to do that. But that was also an interesting thing that Barik was talking a little bit more in that encounter right there. Yeah, I made a very demanding wish of the game, and the game pleased me. Let's see, we have more blood moss over there. Let's put that over there. Anyway, I think all of this should go into the backpack, but what do we have here? We have marshberries, yeah, immune to engagement. Oh, that's an interesting one, especially for me. An azure berry, or azure bell, 50% hit deflection. Really? Oh, crap. 20% 20 to parry and 4 to finesse for 2 minutes. Pretty good stuff. The buffs here, they seem to be pretty powerful. Yeah, I didn't look at this little pond. You can make out the faintest outline of soldier's arm in the bottom of this pond, a victim of a previous battle in the area. Yes, indeed. What about this one? The grasslands of the tiers stretch far throughout the land. Much of it remains uninhabited and unclaimed by any faction. Okay, so how did they get out from here? Because they kind of disappeared from... They were up here and they didn't leave through anywhere. They didn't leave through here, did they? Anyway, that's this place. We got a little bit of things. Let's talk a little bit with Barik.
You look as if you have something on your mind. By all means.
He salutes me and the joints of his armor groan in protest.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about you. I am the line your enemies cannot cross. All of the details are meaningless, but I suspect you have some thirst for details, so ask away. Did you seek the trade war, or did it find you? Both, I suppose. Did I ask the trade war? No, the trade of war. Yeah, that makes more sense. I knew fighting was in my blood, and the disfavored offered me a chance to use my skills to bring peace. Otherwise, I'd have wound up some brigand or enforcer to a crooked merchant. Barik taps his scabbard, looking away in thought. You think Ash and his legion bring peace? That's cute. That's verse talking. But it doesn't hold water from where I'm standing, big guy. I've seen them spill as much blood as any chorus gang. You've clearly been too busy sacking villages and stealing crops to notice how a proper army conducts a war. We sow order, not discord. Well, the verse has a point. This favored could reconsider their approach. Oh, perhaps you need a few lessons in military strategy then. Battles can be won by hurling troops into the furnace, but war is a labor of love? Yeah, I think that's what it means. The disfavored need recruits in anticipation of the march south. They offered to care for my mother and brother as long as I stayed with the Legion, which is a better guarantee than you'll find anywhere else. I was an elite fighter as far as most were concerned, though still green by disfavored standards. Luckily for everyone, my skills improved under the Iron Marshal's rigorous training. Tell me about your name. Barik's a shortening of my northern surname, which has been passed down through the generations since Graven Ash assembled his army. I go by it because I wear it with pride. The proper form is Barikonen. Beyond its age and association with the General's Legion, the name of Barikonen has no great titles or associations. I hold no claim to a great house or legacy, save for the disfavored. They are all the kin I need. And what's the story with the armor?
It is a symbol of Kairos' will, one that I am not likely to forget. I found this armor. Perhaps it would be better to say that it found me during the Edict of Storms.
I suppose so. What happened during the Edict of Storms? When we heard that Kairos would proclaim the edict, I say edict, but it's edict, we rushed into the field to battle the forces of Stalwart. I was shoulder to shoulder with some of the Legion's most decorated veterans, and my pride blinded me to the danger. Our march was a hasty one. A cohort of disfavored soldiers vanished in the second year of war, among them the daughter of Graven Ash. After a long silence, we learned that she was held in the fortress of Sentinel Stand. Go on. As we surrendered at Citadel, I heard the opening peals of thunder. As did the scout I was busy trying to kill. Then the winds hit like an avalanche. Many of us begged Kairos for deliverance. What else were we to do? The winds knocked the legs of our offensive out from under us. All the decorated soldiers I brought to the battle were swept up and dashed to pieces, their armors and bodies mixing with the dirt of a tornado that spun in maddening revolutions. That piece of the citadel wall broke off and nearly crushed my skull. I only remember a few scattered moments from the storm, like the flying bits of bronze and iron cutting through my flesh, the severed limbs of fallen soldiers tumbling through the air. Eventually I woke up, thinking myself trapped on the rubble. When I rose and felt like I was buckling under my own weight, that's when I realized I was stuck, right and truly stuck inside this heap of crap. What happened to Ash's daughter after the edict hit? She was trapped behind the walls of the Sentinel's stand, imprisoned by Kairos' storm as well as the fortress itself. 1,000 soldiers stand shoulder to shoulder could not have endured those winds to rescue her. Yeah. So, it's kind of interesting. So, Graven Ash lost his daughter, which I'm sure he loved, I suppose. I assume he loved, to the Overlord's... But wait a minute, was he already with you at that point, or was he still on the enemy side? Because he was, he was recruited from the enemy side, as most of us, I guess. How did you survive when everybody fell? That is a mystery to me as well. Did Kairos hear my plea for mercy? Did this heap of scrap metal protect me, imprison me, punish me? He rubs the back of his helmet with his gauntlet hand, a pantomime of a gesture his armor prohibits. I don't have enough fingers or toes to count the possible reasons, so I try not to dwell on them. You're generally stuck in there? Haven't you tried taking it off or something? I made attempts in the past. Even had one of the beast haulers pull on the helmet while another pulled on my boots. The men in the phalanx have taken great pleasure in trying to find ways to liberate me. In time, I grew weary of the struggle. Sometimes I fear that removing the armor would be to question Kairos' judgment and risk a more odious crime. Looks like pretty solid protection to me. Yeah, that would be an understatement. If only it protected me from foolish questions. Barik regards you in such a way that you can tell he's rolling his eyes. A forlorn sight escapes his helmet. Or sigh, not a sight, a sigh. Do you handle your own repairs? I try to keep the surface oiled to slow the spreading of rust, and I bend the plates from time to time. But repairs? Maintenance? Nah. If you have any idea how to better maintain this situation, I'm open to discussing them. Okay, well, I think that's all for right now, and I'll talk to you later. Oh, actually, there's another question over there. As with all this favored, I assume you grew up in the Northern Empire? That's right. I grew up in Battle's Rest, then trained at Fort Resolution before they marched me out to support the second cohort. I hope to spend my rusting years, my rusting years in Freton shores, unless, of course, I die in glorious battle, which would be preferable. My mother is good with the soil, my father with rings. He spends much of his time away on one merchant's errand or another. Still, I'm lucky to say they're both alive. Well, and cared for, I suppose. Would you like to discuss removing your armor? He looks at you for a very long time, his expression as unreadable as ever.
Though we are encouraged to couple and mate within the Legion, I don't consider you one of my cohorts. I think I'll decline.
Oh, come on. You got tier 1 loyalty. I wasn't talking about sex, though. Anyway.
You weren't? Forgive me. It's been some time since anyone made an advance, and I am long out of practice, as you can see.
He knocks on his iron codpiece with a resounding clang. Sounds hollow? That's not good.
Suffice it to say, my armor and I will not be separated for the time being. When the war is over, perhaps Tunon will lend me one of his forge-bound. Until then, here I remain. My armor saved me from the destruction of Stalwart, where thousands of others lost their lives. So you can see why I continue to wear it. For the time being, we will not be separated.
I read in a review that there are no companion quests, so we're stuck. I mean, I don't know if the review was right or wrong, but for all means and purposes, he's right. He will not be separated. Are you comfortable in there at least? I have somehow developed enough calluses that I can sleep at night, but I wouldn't call that comfort, would you? This is my armor. It has everything it needs and more. Purpose, meaning, strength. If it were comfortable, that would only take away from its other qualities. Do you even want it removed? I would not speak of this now, Fatebinder. Please consider the topic closed. As you command... No, wait a minute. Oh, let's go with... Yeah, let's go with this one. As your commander, I'm concerned about the state of your uniform, soldier. And again, loyalty. Awesome. What's the state? Oh, loyalty 2. Fantastic. Damn it. You are right to be concerned. My apologies that you needed to pull rank. It was wrong of me to withhold information. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I just asked... I just asked if you wanted it removed. It's not really information, but anyway. I don't need to tell you that this suit of junk is a literal pain in my ass. Half broken, smelling of a midden, and perpetually jabbing my side with some Kairos be damned caltrop. These dusty plates may not be up to standard, but they served this favorite well enough on the battlefield. If only to intimidate the enemy, better for me to endure this condition than to shirk an advantage. Considering that I wore this as I marched across the bones of stalwart that was, my burden growing heavier with each step, I have no desire to leave it behind. It's a lesson, a reminder, and yes, a prison. But all those things make it something more. These plates have something of me in them. They have you in them. They are as wicked as a bramble patch, as stubborn as a fortress, and hopelessly flawed. At present, removing my armor is not an option. If that ever changes, I suspect that the tiers will tremble with the impact of my collapsing fortification. What a day that'll be. So, what does Graven Ash think of that predicament? I suspect that he doesn't. Not to besmirch the great general, he has larger matters to consider than any of one soldier's woes. How long do you think it can last? The armor hasn't shown any sign of weakening, and my maintenance regimen is all that keeps it from rusting solid. Were I to stop applying oil and give it to entropy, this shell would harden to a degree that no forge master has ever seen. I think it could very well stand for as long as the old walls, with my skeleton peering out from the depths, and someday, not even that. Now, isn't that a cheery topic, says Verse. Yeah, I suppose it is. Tell me about what you can do and can't do in battle. Well, I can strike fear into the hearts of our enemies and protect a shielded wall with my very own body. What more do I need? How do you vacate your bowels? Holy crap, why am I asking this? Well, let us say I manage, and manage poorly. The parts of this misbegotten thing I can reach are in better repair than the ones I can't. Okay, yeah, how do you... Okay, I think I know the answer to that question. I get feared from him from asking that. How do you take pleasure from life? Are we actually talking about this, Fatebinder? You have nothing better to do than wonder how I access my nether regions for a frenzied bout of self-interest? I don't want to hear this, says Verse. How do I even run far enough to avoid this? Verse plugs her ears and winces against the inevitable. Well, I can't. And not from lack of trying. Holy crap! My works are inaccessible from the outside, and much as I've tried to warm my arm out of this sleeve of iron, I would only succeed in dislocating my shoulder. Actually, that's something you might want to look into, actually. Being able to dislocate your shoulder and popping it back into place might allow you some comfort. If you ever think me frustrating or disagreeable, just imagine what I've dealt with since the 3rd year of conquest. Or more accurately, what I haven't dealt with. Yeah, you gotta be itching a lot in there. How do you fare in water? Better to ask, how do I sink? The answer is quickly. Water passes my lips easily enough, though I take great care to keep it from anywhere else. Oh, really? That's not good in rain. Okay, back to my other questions about your armor. Actually, let's talk about something else, and let's get out of here. We've wasted enough time talking about his armor and his nether regions. Let's go! Let's go. Oh, man. Okay, so we're gonna continue going to the Scarlet Camp. 32 minutes to complete. Why so precise? How do you... You could trip. He could need a lick. Actually, if he does, he probably is not gonna stop. But there we go. We can fear with him, though. That was... That's okay. I need to unlock his abilities and stuff. So what do we have here? We have Quiet Shiv and Shiver Shank. What is that? 8 days to Kairos' Day of Swords. Oh, we have a time limit on that. Beautiful. A rotting body bearing Scarlet Chorus war paint is skewered upon a wooden pike. And these guys are Horde. But they are Scarlet Chorus. Right? Horde is Scarlet Chorus, I think. Hey. Take another step, I'll pin your foot to the dirt, says that guy. Who is he? A quiet Shiv. Is he talking to me? Are you talking to me, punk? You're gonna get your head bashed in. Is he talking to... Dude. It proves everything. The warrior slams her fists together in a resounding clap. Like, for instance, whether you are fit to lead that flock of children. Behind her, the member of her gang postured with weapons held at the ready. Did you not hear the news of the edict? This is a foolish distraction. We ought to be saving our fight for the enemy. Okay, so they're both Scarlet Chorus, yeah, of course. The Chorus warrior looks to his gang, giving them a quick nod. What's the problem here? No problem here, Lord Binder. She tosses her blade in the air, catching it with a smile on the way down. Captain Fuckwit here seems he's about to balk from his challenge. Thinks just because he used to run a ship, he's qualified to run a gang. She spits on the ground, looking up with a scowl. So I'm calling him out, because the way I see it, his warriors ought to follow me, not this new blood. Captain Fuckwit was my father. Fuckwit will do just fine. The warrior points at the opposing gang. Is he actually his name? No, he's Shivershank. If we have to prove our strength, we'll do so happily. But I'll have your hands and feet removed, and the rest of you kept from my own use. For my own use. Okay. Allow me to join you. I enjoy a good bloodbath. And I gain favor with the Scarlet Chorus. Look at that. A sharp, vicious grin cuts across her face. Be my guest. I've always used to see a Fatebinder in action. I've always wanted to see a Fatebinder in action. He falls pointedly quiet, but finally shrugs one shoulder, seemingly smart enough not to protest. Okay, let's go with subterfuge here. Cut Quiet Sheev's throat, or... Oh, apparently I can use both. Okay, so what exactly is going on? He's basically cocky. She is basically cocky, but for different reasons. What actually are Quiet Sheev's credentials? Because she doesn't say anything in her defense. So I think he is gonna be better. Which means she is gonna be more gullible, I think. So I'm gonna kill him and beat Shivershank bloody. Then I'll settle it with strength, I say. And you lost favor with the Scarlet Chorus, but I gained 66 athletic skill experience. You turn to Shivershank and grab him by the scruff of his scraggy beard, keening with both shock and pain. He can barely fight back against the sheer force of your strength as you repeatedly punch his face until all that's left is a bloody mess. He crumbles to the ground as everyone besides you slowly, tremblingly backs away. Okay. Enjoy your new position, young boss. And he falls. Oh, actually killed him. Well, let's take his stuff. That's gonna be mine. What do we have over here? A bent, broken, or bronze dagger. They walk very slowly. They're all... What you looking at? I'm looking at my friend? No? I wanted some friendship there. I don't know. Maybe some influence or something. Let's go around this camp, see where we are going. We have ourselves... Okay. Some stuff over here. Who's actually going to be doing the subterfuge? Okay, I can select my characters. Yeah, I can select my characters with my F keys. What do we have over here? We have heavy bronze armor that increases armor quite a lot, actually. It's 5 armor. That's pretty good. I think I can go with it. I think that might be good for me, even though it does increase recovery and minus the deflection. But deflection is not really something that I'm too interested in, specifically because that's deflection right there, right? Yeah. So, specifically because I'm pretty good with the dodge, which is that one right there. Okay, seems good. Let's see if that one is going to be good for her. Probably not. She has got... Nope, that's not good for her. So let's put it over there and continue with looking around. Actually, that's a broken cart. Nothing there. Okay, guys, come with me. Just follow me. Actually, I can press plus. Thank you so much to whoever pointed out in the comments that I can press plus and activate... fast mode. The guard places her hands by her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of a blade. Past this point is Korra's territory, she says, and you don't look like someone's conscript. You sure you're in the right place? Actually, I'm just gonna glare at her silently, be a little bit stoic. The guard tenses up, locking eyes with you. That walking hunk of rust. What's he... maybe doing here? She doesn't know. Let's see. I could use athletics to step in close and push her down. That'd be an interesting thing, but I'd be starting a thing. Let's glare at her silently. She needs to address rank over here. Fine, just come on in. I'm sure the Fury will get to you if you're really a problem. The guard half-heartedly waves you in as she nods to Verse. These are Korra's grounds. State your business or get lost, she said before that conversation.
Sorry, I can't.
So that guy right there, that's punishment. It's not actually war. That was punishment. So you got Death Knell over here. Haven't I met you with this guy? I remember this name for some reason. Salvarus. Oh, hi? What's up with you? How does he drop anchor if he can't take his armor off? Yeah, I don't think he can. I mean, he doesn't drop it as well as he should. But anyway, keep your thoughts to yourself, Chorus Maggot, says, says Barik. Oh man, let's have a chat with Death Knell over here. You? As much as an accusation as a question, the broad-shouldered woman shakes her head with a scowl. So you're Tunan's fate binder. I was expecting something more impressive? She bows in spite of her misgivings. Death Knell, Scarlet Fury. My time is yours for as long as it amuses me. The fighter effortlessly spins a bronze sword about in her hand. Let's get one thing clear, she says. Stick to your words and law. Leave the fighting to the grown adults. Your corpse would just be a tripping hazard to those of us having a proper bit of carnage sport. Oh, wait a minute. Who said that? Yeah, that was her. I thought it sounded more like verse. We've got... It would be weird for her to say that, but yeah, still. We've got enough... I mean, she's a Scarlet Fury, so I guess they're all bred with the same hilt, I suppose. We've got enough useless twats dying for our name as it is. All our horde recruits seem good for, as of late, is piling in a shit-reeking mound on the battlefield. She hums low to herself and flips her sword side to side with several deft flicks of her wrist. Keeps up, and we'll have to toughen our recruitment standards again. Now, what do you need? You said something about the horde thinning? Swelling until it's thundering, then crashing and receding. It's been the way of the chorus for as long as I've been in it. She offers a one-shouldered shrug, ambivalent if anything, but more likely just uncaring. We take our prisoners alive, give them a chance yet to live and to be reborn into something better. Putting any and every able body to the sword like the disfavored do is nothing but a waste. Conquered enemy is but a new ally. It merely requires the proper coercion. Of course, we do sometimes have the problem of lingering loyalties. Deserters are rarely successful in their escape, but they do try. The Venturan guards, strengthened by their numerous blood ties, have been particularly stubborn, so I have a better plan hatched. And what might that be? I'm thinking we redouble our efforts to recruit settlers, focusing on the unaligned and unsuspecting, instead of flushing ourselves to the gills with oathbreakers claimed from the battlefield. How exactly do you plan to convince them? Well, a knife point has sufficed well enough in the past, but you've inspired me to try a more diplomatic approach this day. What do you say, Binder? You might be able to ease them into the idea and save the lives of their friends and neighbors in the process? Really? I mean... Yeah, if it means expediting the end of this meandering conflict, so be it. Oh, remote settlement is now unlocked. Awesome. The Fury howls a satisfied laugh and smacks you dead on the back. My method are surefire. You'll see. I'll mark the settlement on your map. She grins, biting her bottom lip bloodied. I can't wait to see the outcome of your efforts. Was she about to... Is she sending me to my death? She's sending me to my death, isn't she? What were you expecting, actually? Well, let's see. Death Knell counts on her fingers, conducting some mental tally. From your deeds during the conquest to how you've helped us since then. Suppose I didn't expect much, and you've done nothing to challenge it. By Scarlet Chorus standards, you're no more ordinary than a conscript. Really? Yeah, I suppose I'm Favor 0 and Wrath 0 as well. Anyway, work a little harder, she says, setting yourself apart. Maybe someday you'll live up to your name. Well, what can you tell me? It wasn't an insult, so I don't really care. And besides, I don't really care either way. Oh, but we're all out of time. We're out of time. Man, this game just eats up my time. We did nothing. We just talked to a bunch of people, but I guess that's the charm of Tyranny. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been, of course, Tyranny. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.